Hi guys, welcome to this stream, the ROJ the GOAT live conversation stream. And if you are coming here for the first time, I'm Olamide Roland, aka ROJ the GOAT, and this channel is obviously about motion design. I feel like I prepared that whole intro in my head, but I didn't really get it right. But welcome to the stream. Today I have the amazing Byron. I always mess up your last name, so I'm not going to say it.
It's all good.
Yeah, sorry.
It's SLAYBAUGH.
SLAYBAUGH. Byron
SLAYBAUGH,
SLAYBAUGH.
yeah.
I really hope I always call it Byron SLAYBAUGH, but it sounds like I'm
No, that's right. That's right.
Byron SLAYBAUGH.
You got it.
Like, so I'm not that far.
SLAYBAUGH, yeah.
That's really nice.
No. You're good, man. You're good.
You have one of like the most unique surnames I've seen. Like, you're the first SLAYBAUGH I've met, and it's
Oh, yeah. There aren't many of them out there. I know there are. I have some like cousins and relatives, but there aren't very many of us out there.
that's nice.
So
There's like an infinite amount of Rolands in the world, and I'm like looking at
no, there's not, man. There's only one you.
yeah, there's only one me. I always fantasize about being related to Kelly Rowland, even if we don't know each other from anywhere. I'll just be like, Kelly Rowland is probably one of my random lost aunts somewhere in the family tree that I don't know. Who knows? She might be
Yeah.
Nigerian. I actually have Googled her genetic makeup just to see if she was Nigerian, but nothing came up.
Really, man. Actually, my wife and I have talked about doing that. We want to do the DNA testing thing. We'd love to see just the background and the history of everything. So
That's nice.
that'd be cool. Is that what you did?
No, I just Googled it. I Googled to see if she has done that ancestry test before and to see if
Okay. Yeah.
it came out as Nigerian. And I'll be like, oh yeah, we're definitely family. So I'm like, yeah, I'm family with the very famous
But you
person.
like testing her?
Yeah, no, it's not that deep yet. I just Googled whether she's Nigerian or not.
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so like if anyone like for people who don't know you, you are, which is a lot of people, including me. You're an amazing motion designer, and you're the first motion designer other than myself that I would see put Christian on their bio. Like maybe not on your Twitter bio, but on your website,
Yeah.
it's there. You're a Christian, and I honestly respect that because I don't really see a lot of
Oh, thanks, man.
people who I don't see a lot of motion designers who own their faith, and everyone is just well, I'm a motion designer, and you're the first person that I've seen that has that there, and I just wanted to say like I really respect that, and I'm definitely learning a lot from that. And you've worked on
Oh, thanks, man.
and you've worked on really amazing projects like Ant-Man and the Wasp, title sequence. You do a lot of title sequence. You worked on Spider-Man 2, I think. I hope I didn't mess it up. You worked on Altered Carbon. You lost an Emmy but you were Emmy nominated. You didn't really lose. Even just having
Lost an Emmy is the right thing to say. That was
nah, you're an
sure.
Emmy nominated person.
Emmy losing animator. That's right.
Emmy losing animator. Well, it's just an award. It doesn't really show how amazing. Like it doesn't even the fact that you were nominated. It like still blows my mind. Like, how do you get nominated for the Emmys? Like, what is the application process like?
Oh man. Honestly, man, if it blew your mind, that makes two of us because I had no idea. I was just sitting there working one day. I was at Elastic, and the producer came up and told us that they had nominated, Altered Carbon for the shortlist for that Netflix had put forth the nomination for the title, and we were like, what?
Yeah.
And then not too long after, it made the shortlist, and then then it actually made the full nomination. I was like, we were blown away. It was wild to just like wake up and refresh the screen and see it up there as being nominated is pretty crazy, man. But anyway,
that is so cool.
Yeah.
I honestly wish I was Emmy nominated. Right now, I'm not. I have it in my 2020 goals that just win an award or even be nominated for an award. And I further added that I want to be nominated for not just an award, just any award. Like I just want an award. I just want that accolade. Like I have this old idea. Like if you notice, you've never seen this part of my office. No one has ever seen it. But this is like my secret plan, which is build a old shelf, and all you find on that shelf
Oh,
is accolades, all the awards I'm ever
uh,
going to win. And I just want like 2021. If anyone is watching this, anybody planning any award show, no matter how small it is, nominate me. Let's see if I win because I want the accolades.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so I think I'm probably done with the intro. So like I wanted to ask like how are you doing and how did you get into motion design? How did it start for you?
Oh man, I mean, how far back do you want to go?
Um I would say as far as you can go, even if it's like conception of you. If you can go that far, that would be
Yeah,
nice.
no, man, I think sorry if I'm a little distracted. I'm trying to throw this up on Instagram
Yep.
to promote it here. Um, so yeah, man, it goes back a ways. I mean, probably like a lot of people, I grew up in the era of Disney and the era of Studio Ghibli, and just watching Totoro growing up and seeing all the Disney films. Sword in the Stone is like my favorite film. That one really influenced me early on,
Yep.
um, and just being really into movies and then animated features to be specific. I always thought it was really cool, and I think one day it was freshman year in high school. I was sitting there and we watched how they would pull in, like sometimes like teachers will pull in movies to play during
Yep.
class, or that'll be the class the entire period is playing a movie, and they were playing Toy Story, and I was sitting there and while I was working on my assignment, and it just like I had this epiphany. I looked up and I saw Toy Story, and I'm sitting here working on my assignment in art class, and I was like, wow, it's like people, wait a minute, people get paid to do what I'm watching right now,
Yeah.
and I'm learning how to do that because I was just starting to learn Photoshop, and I was like learning how to do this kind of stuff. It's like how do I do this? How do I make this happen? So that started me down the road, and so in a nutshell, um, I didn't really know where to go, but I was looking at going to a lot of different colleges and whatnot, but I just gave that to the Lord and said, "Hey, I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get here, but this is where I want to be. Like, if this is where you want me to be, like just open some doors and help me to see Him." And my mom came in with a pamphlet for Art Institute of Dallas, and she said, "I don't know, we don't have a lot of money." And I know you can't really go where you want to go, but this might be another good option. So I checked it out, and that's where I ended up going. And I met contacts to get into the industry from being in school there. And yeah, I guess the rest is history. Just I started working professionally in 2005,
Wow.
so I've been doing this for about 16 years now. So it's been a while.
That is
Yeah, I've had a lot of
crazy.
great experiences. So yeah,
16 years is a lot of time, honestly.
that's a long
I
time.
I think that is like you should be like you should take the lead in this conversation because you're definitely the boss here. Honestly, like
Oh no, man, no.
because like this conversation is just an excuse for me to learn as like I've said it like 10 times, but it's an excuse for me to learn as much as I can from you. Like 16 years is like mind blowing. I was like 4 years old in 2005. Uh,
I need to start to show how old I am now, man. I'm 36,
wow.
so I'm not that old.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
kind of young old. It's like that age where you're like
Yeah,
significantly
exactly.
older, but then sorry, you're still young, but then you start to feel old. And the
Oh yeah.
scientists have to tell you
Yeah.
that you're definitely old, but you're still young. You haven't really got into
It's
that.
well, it's funny because it hasn't really happened yet. Like, I always used to think, man, it's man, imagine being 40, 40 so far away, and then I look up and I'm 30, and I'm thinking, wow, that came really
Yeah.
fast. And I'm like, well, 40 is still far away, and I look up and I'm 36, and I'm staring, 40 around the corner, and it's just it keeps coming faster and faster. But you know what? I the older I get, the more I appreciate things I didn't used to appreciate when I was younger. I don't know. We could that could be a rabbit trail of a conversation, but um, suffice it to say that getting older is just allows more time to hone my craft and appreciate things in life that really matter.
Yep.
Because in my 20s, man, I was grinding and I was burning the midnight oil and trying to make a name for myself, and then you just realize at a certain point, like none of that stuff is really what's important in life. So
So what is important in
thank
life?
you.
I mean, you've gotten to that stage. I feel like you've gotten to like you've realized so many things over the years. Like just from what you're saying, I realized that man, maybe I shouldn't procrastinate as much as I do right now, and just no overthinking. Because like in a snap, you're like 40. In a snap, you're like 25. You're like 30, and you don't
Yeah,
even.
that's how it happens, man.
Yeah. So like, what do you think is
That's how it
important in
happens.
life? I don't know. What do
Um, Man, I mean that's a pretty loaded question, but it's also a really simple question. I would say right off the bat, truth.
true.
Truth is incredibly important because you hear people say, "Oh, well, what works for you may not work for me, and what works for me not work for you," and that alludes to the fact that there are multiple ways of achieving a goal. But man, the only and this is a lot of people don't like this answer, but the most important thing is truth. And Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man comes to the Father but through me." So I would say first and foremost, Christ Jesus is the most important. But second, I was talking to my wife about this last night. It's funny because we were talking about how when I was younger, my goals had changed.
Mhm.
My goals have changed since from when I was younger. And right now, my goals used to be I was traveling all over the place and trying to work with certain studios and certain people at those studios and creative directors, and I wanted to do XYZ.
Yep.
And man, by the grace of God, I got to accomplish a lot of those things. But at the same time, there is a huge part of life that I hadn't experienced yet. So now that I've been married for a couple of years, you know, what is important is, and I told my wife this last night, like the new adventure in life is starting a family, paying off the house, becoming like, because 100% debt free, because the only debt that we have is the house, and retiring as early as we possibly can, and hopefully I'm still doing this stuff when I'm older and retired. Like I still hop on the machine, hop on the box and like create stuff.
Yep.
So
Do you know, I fantasize
yeah,
about retiring at 35 or around that my early 30s. Because
yeah, that would be
that would be
awesome,
so
man.
cool. I mean, the way the economy works here and the way the economy works there is different. Yeah, debt isn't really the biggest problem because personally, I'm scared of like going into debt. Like, I really don't take on any. I really don't.
That's good, man. That's
So like
good,
everything I pay for is in cash. Like,
dude. That's amazing.
and that creates a problem with the fact that okay, if you study economics, you know that that creates a couple of problems. Like people are like there are more poor people out there are more people like people there are a lot of people with less. It creates a lot of because if you can buy things on credit, you can easily do a lot of things and have access to a lot of resources. But there isn't really a lot of people like me. I wasn't trained to like take things on credit. My mom and my dad like have showed me okay, this is a bad idea. Don't do it. Like
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
borrow money. Don't pay for
That's good, man. Because a lot of people don't uh, have parents telling them that. Like I wish I had somebody telling me that when I was younger. Don't ever go into debt. Pay cash for things as much as you
Mhm.
can. Um, save up for things that you want to buy. If you don't have the money, don't buy it.
Yep.
It's pretty simple, but a lot of people get it wrong, myself included. I did a lot of stupid things with money, and didn't really get serious about it until I was in my early 30s, and thank God that I caught it early. But still took a while to pay off all that debt. But I'm glad that it's gone.
That
So that's good,
yeah,
man. I'm glad that you got that advice.
yeah. I think it's just how it is. I'm probably scared of taking on debt. Like I would personally love to take on debt and get a camera and make this setup look as beautiful as possible for the viewers. But I'm also thinking about it. Is this a good decision long term?
Yeah,
Probably not.
that's good, man.
And
That's good. No, I mean, you got to think like that.
yeah, uh, yeah, that's just how my brain works basically. So to answer the question, what is important in life? You said the truth, and the truth is subjective. It's different for
Hmm.
people, and the truth you're talking about, and the truth for me that I need to really focus more on is Jesus. Okay, this is like my
That's right.
first
That's
stream
right. Amen.
where I talk about my faith. Like where I talk about my
Oh
faith
yeah.
like deeply. Most of the time I don't. I might tell people, okay, I'm a Christian, I'm obsessed with God, is like one of the most important thing in my life, but I don't really have long conversations about it with people, especially in the motion community. So I'm always like
Yeah.
motion, 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 motion. Never about the fact that I'm even in motion is because of Jesus. Because
Yeah. Well, you know what, man? And that's not. I mean, it's all what you're comfortable with, you know. And also, you don't want to force it on people if they're not.
true, I think that's one thing
Um,
I'm worried about,
you
like
know. And,
making people feeling
yeah.
like, okay, this is starting to feel a bit forced. The funny thing is my career actually started in like professionally in the church. Like
Your
my
what
career
did?
started professionally in a church as a designer.
Oh.
Then I
Uh
make the
huh.
transition to motion design. So like the first 2 years of my portfolio, all you see was church designs, flyers and posters and flyers and logos. All you see there is just church designs, church animations, and that's where my career started. But I had to disconnect from that life because I really wasn't enjoying it. It was for God, but I wasn't really enjoying that process. So I
Mm.
like broke away from designing in the church and I don't know, experimented more with my career, deleted my portfolio a couple of times from the internet, and I think I
Yeah.
need to bring back my portfolio to the internet because people really have not seen my work. I can bet like
Yeah, man. You got to put that up there. Yeah.
yeah, I can bet that
Yeah.
you haven't seen any of my work except the one on Hyraki's page.
Yeah. You shared some with me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if I didn't really share, you wouldn't see it. And I wrote a book like earlier this year, and I dropped it last 2 weeks. And I talked about the fact that you have to show your work, and you have to have a brand for your like you have to have a brand for yourself. And showing your work is kind of part of your
Hmm.
branding. Like, what is the work? What is the kind of work you do, and should people hire you for, basically? And I'm like the worst person to be giving that advice because I haven't showed my work at all. You can't find my work anywhere.
Well, it's funny, man. I saw your post about that. I saw you had posted that you were a writer
Yeah,
now, but I didn't know why that was. So that's
yeah.
awesome.
It's one thing I fantasize about doing, but I just started actualizing it. Like I started by writing a really short book. It's nothing serious. I killed a lot of darlings, and it was just 30 pages long. And
Yeah.
I'm planning to like do something more elaborate, which is like an actual book, which I've never said anywhere except to Adam Conran. But like an actual proper
Mm.
book, a proper nonfiction book about a certain topic that I really don't know if I should share yet because I'm still figuring it out.
That'd be really cool, man.
Yep, like I'm still experimenting with my writer side. I found like a way to like bring what is in my head that is really scattered and disorganized and not really clear is to write it, and I want to like show that part of me a little bit more, even though my writing skill is probably terrible. It would be nice to just experiment with it.
No, man. Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, man, you have like the coolest opportunity for marketing. I mean, Raj, like this, just those letters work really well together. It's such a cool name. It's a cool acronym. I mean, you got a lot of material there, so that's awesome. Yeah, you got a lot to play with as far as the branding part of it goes. But yeah, man, get your site back up and just slowly start updating things on it. And you know, I mean, it could be up there for 3 years.
Yep.
you're updating it consistently for a year and then it falls on and then you fall off and don't update it for another 2 years. I mean, as long as there's something up there, that with work that you're proud of, I think that's good.
I'm like next
It's
month I'm
important.
working on like this big update for like Hyraki's website, and I'm planning to like I think I showed you a little bit of it where like I play with 3D animation and web design and kind of like what Apple is doing
Mm.
currently. And I really don't see anyone in the motion space like experimenting with their website and just going crazy. And I plan to like just go crazy.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think most people just kind of. Well, hold on, let me back up. I don't want to
Yeah.
project. I personally know that I just want to get the work up there and have it be presented well. I used to go down the route of like I was learning HTML and trying to figure out how to do Java and all that stuff. This was back in the day, and then eventually once Squarespace and other people, other companies started coming out that offered an easy way to create a website. I jumped on board and I was like, all right, I'm just doing this.
Yeah.
I'm just going to modify their templates or because it's just, it's not, it would be obviously different if you're a web designer, you need to have like a killer
Yeah.
website. So, but
And
for us, it just, you need to be able to see the work and that's pretty much that. So
I
yeah.
think for me it's beyond just seeing it work. Like I said in my book, it's giving people a good experience when coming to like when interacting with your brand and interacting with you. Most of the time or a lot of time after people check your social media pages, the next place they go to is your website. If you can give them like
Yeah.
the most killer experience when they come on your website, there's a good chance they would stay. Even if they don't call you up or they don't hire you, there's a good chance that if they see something, they would remember you. It's about like getting them to remember you,
Yeah.
creating like a good impression of yourself in. And I think if you can properly, for me it's not just about putting out the work, though I wish I could just sit down and just put out the work. That would be so fun and so easier for
Yeah.
me. But I feel like it's also about like giving people like the most amazing experience so they don't forget you and they would keep coming back to you with work. I think I can bet that the reason why people keep hiring you is because they had a good experience working with you and they had a good experience talking to you, and everything about you was so fun. I think that is the same thing with websites. People should be able to just come on your website, have a good experience, and they remember you and they keep coming back. And I think that's a little bit of how branding works, basically. So like,
Yeah. Well, that's kind of you to say, man. Yeah, I think it's funny actually because a lot of the work that I get, it's probably just because it's other people have referred me
yeah,
or because it when you work with guys that you trust and that are good and that can crank stuff out in a timely manner, their project files are nice and neat. They have good work ethic. Like that's all of that comes before just being a killer artist.
exactly. Like
Uh,
they
yeah.
have like a good experience of working with you. They trust you. They trust that this person is going to give me something really good. It's not enough to be amazing. Like it's not enough to be the most amazing motion designer in the world. You also have to be someone
Right.
that people can work with and can trust and people can rely on. And
Yeah, that's
yeah,
huge.
if you're not reliable and you're like people don't trust you, or when you do work you can't deliver on time, you are definitely going to lose all the clients in the world. Like you're going to lose all the client that comes to you.
Yeah.
And if you can promise the client a good experience, like for example, like I worked with the client last year. It wasn't just me. We worked with the client last year and we did a killer video for her and she enjoyed it. A product sold out here. Though at the end of the year, we had a falling out. But even with that, the
Uh,
fact that she had a good experience the first time, she's like, we still have conversations and still have like a good, maybe not the best relationship, but you still have some level of like
uh-huh.
trust and
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah.
So like if you're able to give someone the best experience, they would always keep coming back no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, I know a guy. I used to work with a guy. He was a freelancer. When he had a booking that ended on the last day of his booking, he would always bring in donuts. So that way, people would always remember he's the guy that brought the donuts. Like That's the last thing that they would remember, and so they'd be like, "Oh, we got to get that guy again. Like he was cool. He brought in
Yeah.
donuts." You know, I don't even know if he was good. He was the guy that brought in donuts. You
Like,
know,
have you read the
so
book? I haven't read it. I only read like the first page of it, and I dropped it. It's like Burn Your Portfolio
what book
by
is that?
Michael Janda.
What burner
Yeah,
portfolio?
the whole premise.
Oh no,
The whole
no,
premise of the book is,
that
yeah,
sounds
it sounds like really harsh.
it's a catchy
Yeah,
title.
it is. I wish the title for my book is Burn Your Portfolio. But the premise,
Yeah. Well, so what is he
okay,
talking
like the
about?
premise of the book is about the fact that being a good artist is not enough to be like to get clients or to be trusted
Mm,
or to get work. So like it talks about the fact that there are so many other things that matter than just having an amazing portfolio. Because when you leave art school and you leave
mm,
college, all they tell you is like work on your portfolio. People are going to hire you, and it was like, yeah, work on your portfolio, but there are other things behind that than just working on your portfolio. Like where is like how much like who is in your network, for example, is a good question after you
mm.
leave school. So like that's the premise of the
Yeah, that's
book,
huge.
and I think I've learned a lot from just reading the first page. Sorry,
Yeah,
I've,
actually, I'm gonna look that up right
yeah,
now. Let
I
me
haven't
see.
really finished it. I just like I had the PDF. I just read the first few pages and I just dropped it because I was lazy, and it was in the time where I was writing and I was researching.
At least you're honest here,
Yeah,
right?
but I plan to pick it up again.
Burn your portfolio. Okay. Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This looks cool, man. I mean, out of off from the one page that you read, is it worth
I
buying?
think it is worth buying. I want to buy it,
I'm gonna add this to my
but
list.
like I'm always scared of buying things and because like shipping is like a whole headache and a whole scenario. Like I bought a couple of things.
Oh yeah.
Like I bought a bike in December and it's just arriving. Like it arrived in
Oh
Lagos on
wow.
Saturday. I should get it tomorrow. Like that is just so stressful. So like if I buy the book, I have to buy
Yeah,
it
man.
with the mindset of like reading it in the next 1 month or 2 months, which is probably
Yeah,
what.
man. That's something we take for
Yeah,
granted in the States here for sure.
and it depends on the things you're
Like
buying.
next day shipping, you
Yeah,
know.
like Amazon Prime.
I know. It's sad how used to this stuff we get, man. It's just we take it for granted. Actually, you know the book How to Steal Like an
Oh
Artist,
yeah, I've read it like
and
a couple of times.
yeah, he's got I think his name's Austin
Austin
Klein.
Kleon.
He has a Cleon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He has a couple books, and then there's another guy. I think his name's Phil. Go. Actually, I have it back here.
Yep.
I have all of these. Look, these are like some of my favorite like design inspiration books. So I've got the Show Your Work,
Yep. I need
right?
to read Show Your Work.
Still Like an Artist.
Yeah.
Still Like an Artist. That's a great one. This one's really good. Manage your day to day, building your routine, find your focus, and sharpen your creative mind. That one's really good. This is by 99U. They used to be. I don't know if they're still around
I think they are
actually.
still around.
Scott Belsky. He's the guy, the founder of Behance.
Hmm.
Let's see. And then these are two of my favorite ones. This one, it's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be.
I
This
envy
one's
you
by
right now.
Paul Arden.
When I want to get a book, I have to get ebooks, and I hate ebooks. I really hate ebooks because of my eyes, and I have eye strain, so like
Oh
it's
yeah.
really frustrating.
Do you have a Do you have a Kindle?
I wish I had a Kindle, but I don't. That's a birthday gift
Oh,
idea.
okay.
Just get me a Kindle. You don't have to get the most expensive one.
Yeah, those are those things are great. Those things are amazing.
Like I would add that to my to buy list.
Uh,
Right now, what is on my
yeah, I think
sorry, go on.
no, I was just gonna say I think that would help you if you with you getting ebooks. I think that would help you for sure if you got something similar to a Kindle or a Kindle because it's a lot easier on your eyes
Yeah,
for sure.
and I think
But yeah, Paul Arden has this other book. Real quick, whatever you think the opposite. This is another great one.
yeah,
So
I think I'll add the
would
Kindle to
highly
my.
recommend all of these.
I think I'll add the Kindle to my to buy list. But right now, what is at the top of my to buy list is a camera. I've been obsessing about getting a camera for the last 2 months because I desperately
What
need
camera are you looking
one.
at getting?
I was looking to get like a Canon T4i. Like I got a good deal on it, and I was like, oh, this is not a bad camera to buy. But then I've changed
A Canon what?
T4i, Rebel T4i.
T4i.
It's an old
Okay. Yeah,
camera,
yeah, yeah.
but then I changed my mind and I wanted to get like the DSLR version of the M50, the Canon M50, which is like the Canon 250D
Mm,
or the SL3.
yeah, that one's great. The M50 is
Yeah,
great.
like there's a DSLR version, like a DSLR alternative to it. I would have gotten the M50, but I'm thinking about the lenses. Like the lenses are a little bit rarer, like rare and not easy to come by. But if you buy like the regular DSLR, the lenses are they're like a wide selection of lenses for like the DSLR
Yeah,
side of things. So like it's better I just get a
yeah.
DSLR and utilize all those and just spend random like I could just get like $50 or $100 randomly and I'm like let me just buy this weird lens that blurs my background really well or let me buy this lens that shows more of the room and
That's awesome.
that's what I'm thinking about. But then I need the money and I don't have the money right now. And I'm obsessing about the
Yeah.
fact that I don't have the money right now. Yeah.
Oh man.
But I'm looking to
Yeah, that makes it tough.
yeah, I'm looking to do freelancing next month. Take a break from live streaming and just freelance as much as I can. If you're looking for a freelancer,
You're not freelancing right now?
not really. I have like this old project we're working on, like my team and I are working on, and that's taking my attention till
Okay.
like I'm free for like a month or two. So I want to use that time to like
Yeah.
freelance and get enough money to get a camera and maybe sell enough freelance kits to pay for a camera, hopefully. But like that is my current
Yeah,
obsession,
that's awesome.
a camera.
What is the work? Are you working with people local, or are you working whenever you do freelance? Do you work outside of Nigeria?
It depends. It depends on. Before I normally work with a lot of local people, but recently I got to work on more international projects. So
That's cool. Are the people you work with locally, are they mostly in Lagos?
yeah. Virtually all my clients are in Lagos.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. That's cool, man. Yeah, that's yeah. You were telling me that that's like a huge tech hub,
Yeah,
right?
it's I would say Lagos is probably one of the biggest tech hubs in Africa because like there's just a lot of
Yeah,
interesting startups coming up from here.
that's awesome. Yeah, I remember. Remember last time we talked, I saw the Nike
Yeah,
museum.
sorry, you give me.
And
Yeah, I remember you messed up the
I'm
name.
sure that throws a lot of people off. You're like, no, 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 no. That's not what you think it is. That's you like that's something different.
Yeah,
It's like, no.
nah, it's the Nike Art Gallery. In case
Yeah,
anyone is
yeah.
wondering, it's talking about the Nike Art Gallery.
I'm sure that trips a lot of people
Yeah, they're
up.
like, when
Yeah.
did Nike have a museum? The Nike Art Gallery.
I know. I saw that and I thought, man, that's crazy. That's awesome. I didn't know they had one out
Yeah,
there.
but like it's run by this woman and she has like the biggest art collection in Nigeria or
Mm.
West Africa. I don't know the actual like which country or where the record is, but then she has like a really big art
Yeah,
collection and not just any art, like West African art.
but it's the history. It's like specifically Nigerian history, though,
Yeah,
right?
specifically, I don't think it's
Yeah,
specifically
yeah.
Nigerian. I
That's
think it's
awesome.
specifically African. I need to really look it
Okay.
up. Like I haven't really had the time to visit like and just experience the place for myself. But I've passed the place a couple of times and it's just a place I just passed by and it's like, oh yeah, this is Nicaragua.
Wait, you never
Yeah, I've
been?
never actually gone there, but I've passed by it.
Oh, come on, Raj, man, you gotta
I
go.
would love to. When
You know, check it
yeah, when
out.
I'm free and when I have money to spend going out, because I don't stay specifically in Lagos. I'm close to Lagos, but not in Lagos. So like moving around
Yeah.
is expensive. So like if I had like enough money to move around, or if I'm ready to like spend money going about exploring the whole of Lagos, I would definitely visit there. Maybe I should add that to things I should do later this year. Just explore the depths of Lagos for fun. It would be nice.
Yeah, man. My wife and I have been watching this, or we just finished last night, but it's on Amazon Prime. It has the Eco Challenge. It's the toughest race in the world
Oh,
with Bear Grylls. And are you familiar with any type of like eco racing, eco challenge? It's really
not really.
it's really interesting, man. But they're in the point is they were all in Fiji. Then the whole race is based in Fiji, and there are two teams from Fiji, and they were saying, man, we've never without this race, we would have never experienced these areas of our own country that we've been able to go through. And it's kind of crazy how that stuff is just in your backyard. I mean, uh, you don't really get out and venture. Like I mean,
Yeah,
we live here in Austin, and we still have so much to explore in the city and things that we don't even know existed here
yeah.
yet. So yeah, it's crazy how that
I,
happens.
I think for me, I like a friend was just scolding me. A friend just scolding me. That's weird enough. And she was like, "Dude, you don't just go out.
Shaking her finger.
You don't just go out. You're just stuck inside this room and you don't leave." And that is my
Mm,
life. I haven't really gone beyond this room in months. No, maybe weeks, because I definitely
mm.
I had to go to Lagos one time, but I really don't move around as much. I'm just inside this room most of the time. Like, let's say 18 hours a day, I'm inside this room. Other hours, I'm probably going around trying to get provisions, get something to eat or sleep. But most of my time is spent in this room, and it's
Yeah.
sad. It's a very sad life. I wonder if
Well, man, yeah. I think it'd be worth it to maybe take a pause and just go for a walk or something.
I wish there was like really cool places really close by that didn't really mean I have to commute. Like the coolest places I have
Yeah.
to commute to get there. Like I have to like take long distance. I have to be on the road for like maybe an hour or 30 minutes to get there. And I just want to take a quick walk and get
To get
back.
somewhere.
Not like, and then there's a traffic problem. Lagos like has a huge traffic problem.
But are you not able to walk in your neighborhood?
I don't like my neighborhood. There's nothing wrong with my neighborhood. I
Well,
just
that's
don't like.
honest.
There's nothing wrong with my neighborhood. It's really quiet, really calm. Everyone here is super fun, not fun friendly, but like I just don't really enjoy working in my neighborhood as much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No, I get that, man. I get that. Well, even if you could just get out and go for a walk or something, I mean, just getting sun and getting away from the computer. I mean, I've had those times where you're just sitting in front of a computer, and even if you take a break, your mind is still thinking about what's going on the
yep,
computer. You take a break to go get something to eat, and you're constantly thinking about, okay, how could I, solve this problem, or maybe if I do this, or you're just waiting to get back to the computer, but there's times where you can actually step away
without thinking.
and not think about the computer. That's your mind needs that. Your body, your heart, your soul needs
Yeah,
that.
I wish I wasn't like living
Yeah.
like right now. Have you read the book Ready Player One?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's a great book.
I wish I had an actual copy of it. I want to buy an actual copy of it. So let me check how much it is to get a copy in Nigeria. Because like there's this bookshop that has it, but then it's really way expensive than what's in Amazon. And
You haven't read it?
I've read the player one. I want to get the player two. I want to get player one and two just
Oh,
to
okay, yeah.
just so I have it. I have the actual copy. I'm just
Yeah.
quickly trying to check how much it will cost if I decide that I'm going to get it.
Okay, I'm curious actually. I want to look up on my end how much it is. What are you looking up the digital
No, the
copy?
actual physical copy.
Okay, physical copy. Let's see. Paperback?
Yep. So the player two is like 9,500, which is around nineteen
Okay, player
dollars,
one.
$19-20, and the player one should be $3,500 plus shipping should be about 5,000. Sorry, that's it. No, the the player two is 9,500 at Ruby Night, and the player one is 3,500. So if you add them together, they are roughly 35 or $40. Plus shipping is around 45 or
Oh
50.
wow. Are you? You guys use what is it?
Yeah,
Naira?
Naira.
Are you okay? Let's see. Naira. What would the? Let's see here. Um. So you said how much would it be to get the physical copy for the first book?
I think total like roughly 20,000 naira to be honest. Roughly plus the shipping and all.
20
20,000.
20,000?
Yep. 20,000 naira. Like naira has zero value, so 20,000.
Yeah, like $50,
Yeah.
huh?
10,000 naira is like
Wow.
naira has zero value. So like
That's crazy because I'm looking at it right now and it's $10
it's
US
it's
paperback.
crazy.
Is that just because the shipping?
I think this companies,
Because it's got to go through customs
yeah,
and
it
stuff.
has to go through custom. So like they have to cover, they have to
Yeah.
charge enough to cover all that cost. So like,
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Wow. Well, I mean, do you prefer physical copies or you like reading on the? Well, you haven't. Have you ever tried a Kindle or
I
something like
want to
that?
get a Kindle. Like I think it's going to be a really cool investment. But I
Yeah.
like the fact that it's
But
not.
you want a camera more.
But I need a camera right now. Like if I have a
Yeah.
camera right now, like a lot of things would change for me. Like right now I only
Mhm.
post videos maybe once every other week. I will be able to post videos every single week,
Mm.
and I would really love to have that luxury to be able to just think of an idea. Like I have random ideas of a YouTube video and not really straight because my videos are like me producing, like it's like producing content for Vox. Let me put it. I have to do research. I have to take a lot of time to gather assets, then animate it and put everything together.
Mm-hmm.
And that process is really, really annoying. It takes time, and before I know it, I get tired. But like
Yeah.
when I have a camera, I just look straight at the camera. Like I just have the camera in front of me, and I have an idea. I don't really think about it. I set it up, record, boom. I have the content out there. I'm making content way faster,
Yeah.
and
It's more instant.
yeah, and I just want that. Like I want that. I want that experience. Basically, I want to be able to just think of an idea and work on it immediately, and just post it, get it out there, help people with the content, and you
Yeah.
know, I started this pop up like that's why I have pop up streams because this stream is just we being fun and we talking. I just noticed we haven't really talked about anything in depth on motion design.
Oh, that's fine, man. It's just, I that's the thing because I have the podcast, but I haven't done an episodes in that in a while. And it's because I thought, I was like, with everything going on with the pandemic and then the elections and all that stuff, it's like, did people want to sit down and listen to a podcast on motion design, with everything going on? It just would seem a little tone deaf, but
And the
um,
funny thing is, they
it's
probably
just good to
do.
talk about other stuff.
I think
What's
the funny
that?
thing is they probably do because we're in a time where this is a time
Yeah.
where people are consuming content the most. Like a lot of people blew up during the pandemic, especially on platforms like TikTok, because
Yeah.
like thousands of people just have hours and hours of free time, and they're working from home, so
Mhm.
they can easily push their work forward. Working from home makes it easy to procrastinate. So I can just say, nah, I'm just gonna do it later, and I spend hours watching TikTok videos. Like there's just more consumers.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. You got to have that self control. You got to have the self discipline to be able to, uh, you know, uh, just put things down when you need to,
Yeah.
work on stuff when you need to. So right now, I used to work like late nights. I used to stay up late, but that's just, especially the older that I've gotten, it affects me more when I don't go to bed at a decent time. So I actually switched to being early morning. So I'm usually up by 4:15 most
Yeah.
mornings. Um, so that way I can have a couple hours in the morning to work on my own stuff, and then usually, because my wife goes to work pretty early, so by the time she's heading out to work, then I can do my reading. I can have breakfast, so walk the dog, come back, and it's good. It's been really good to have that time. I've been in that practice for a while.
Do you know that's the kind of life I want, Right now, I'm kind of the opposite. I work until like,
You're a night
yeah,
owl,
I
huh?
work until like 6 a.m. and I sleep till 11. So I make this joke that I'm practically in the American time zone.
That's not a night owl, man. I mean, you're like full blown like nocturnal.
Yeah, you can say that.
You're just awake at
Yeah,
night.
I'm just like,
Maybe that is an owl. Maybe I don't know. We should look up how when owls their sleep schedules. But
have you heard of this animal like the koala bear? So like
yeah,
in
of
the
course.
day they are usually sleeping and at night they're like active as crazy. That is what I am. But the three,
So you're like Raj the koala bear.
yeah, you know, yeah, I've experimented with
That's your new
changing.
branding, by the way. That's free of
Yeah,
charge.
I've experimented with changing the ROJ the GOAT on Twitter, and I just changed it to ROJ the Genius for like a few days to see if anyone notices it.
Did you change it to Raj the?
Genius,
Yeah, change it to Raj the. What did we
the
just say?
koala
Panda,
bear.
koala bear.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of it. Raj the koala bear. Raj the koala.
yeah. That is a lifestyle.
I know.
Uh,
I noticed you changed it to genius. Are you do? I think you just do stuff sometimes because you want to see if people like notice and see what their reactions
yeah,
are.
and lo and behold, no one really noticed or no one really say anything.
You like the shock value of just changing stuff up every once in a
Yeah,
while.
like it just. I think the reason why most people don't notice is because it's feels like I typed in the goats. It's almost the same amount of letters. So like you just notice. You just if you've known me for a while, you just go through like it's just word to goat. You don't really notice it because it's also like a G word. But when I type Project Koala Bear,
Yeah,
I feel like people would notice it more because it's like
people would
because it's a
notice.
different word structure. Genius is like it's just like saying Roger the Goat.
Yeah,
Uh,
you know why? Because I actually took a speed reading class a while, like I mean, years and years and years
mhm.
ago. But the interesting thing about it was the main aspect of speed readers is that they just read the first letter and the last letter out of the peripheral of their sight. They read the first and last letter of the words, and their mind fills in the middle.
Mm.
And then they skim the page and they skip over the the different parts and the sentences that are just the prepositions and whatnot, and they go to the main chunks of the words, and then they kind of skim the sides, because if they get the left side of the sentence and the right side of the sentence, they can fill in the middle. So I think with yours, with saying Raj the goat, it's like you see Raj the G and your mind just
Goat.
says,
Yeah,
oh
that's
yeah,
what the
that's
yeah.
goat, Raj the goat.
But now that I
Yeah.
see K, your brain kind of like wants to see it. Like that's the word. Like your brain just wants to like notice it. Like because it's genius, or because it's like a G word and it's all caps, and the goat was also all caps, and it's like almost the same amount of letters. Your brain is like, no, I'm just gonna skip it. It's a total waste of time, reading it
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't
Exactly.
notice it until you pay attention to it. I don't think anyone pays attention to my page at all. So it's just like a fun
Oh
exercise.
no, don't say that, man.
Yeah, like I don't.
Well, you know why? You know why though? You know why? Because everybody's too busy focused on
Yeah,
themselves.
that's the thing.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean, I mean, let's be real. I mean, we're all focused on what we're doing, and we look up every now and then to see what somebody else is
Yeah,
doing, applaud it, then put our head back down and go to work. So you can't take it personal if people don't notice certain things, about something that you change, because nobody's really sitting there hitting the refresh
to see
button.
if I'm changing the name.
Oh, did
Yeah,
did Byron change something today? Did he post something new? It's like that doesn't nobody does that. So except maybe my mom.
yeah, yeah. Our biggest fans are
That's about it.
moms. Yeah, I totally get you, and I really try my best to not like focus on. Even I focus on myself a lot, and it's just life, to be honest. Like just focus, just do you,
Yeah.
and just try your best to work on yourself.
Well, man, it's something that I've been really trying to adapt, and that actually has been. I'm not the best at it. I'm still working on it. But when it comes to posting work, I've adapted a new policy where I will post it. I'll finish a piece. I'll put it on my website if I'm happy enough with it. I'll put it on my website. I'll post it on social media. Then I don't look back. I just move on to the next thing. Don't go back and look at who's liked it. Don't go back and look at who's viewed it. Don't go back and look at who's, because it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
I'll find that stuff out when I go to post the next piece and go, oh, cool, that's nice. But you don't want to live for likes, you don't want to live for people like it, because that's where you get your validation from, and it's just a sad, empty life. So, and I definitely fall into that trap all the time where you just, you want to see who's liked it and who's following, but it's just silly.
Yeah.
It's all just, a make believe little weird, viral playground that we all get to play in, and sometimes people notice things, sometimes they don't, so you can't take it personally, and just do your work, post it, and move on to the next thing, because at the end of the day, as long as you're just continuing to create things, that's the most important
You're
thing.
right. I think this crypto art time is where you see this in play the most. There is so much anxiety around crypto art, and you're
Yeah.
just online and you're just wondering, boom, I can't get into crypto art. I'm trying to look for a foundation invite. And you're basically living for that invite.
You and everybody else, man.
And
I'll tell you what, though. Because the crypto art scene, and this could be a whole nother hour and a half conversation in itself, but I think it's been really good, and it's been amazing. A lot of artists are making some great money, and money that's well deserved.
yeah,
And not that I'm the judge of whether they deserve it or not, but they're grinding, and they're getting their paid dues. But I think it has a very sharp back edge to it, because it's double-sided, because at the same time, it's created a whole new problem for artists, because there's massive FOMO, there's huge imposter syndrome. It feels like a club that you can't really get into, or you're having trouble get into. A lot of artists
I
are
think it
struggling
brings
just
out the
trying
most
to
toxic part of the motion
yeah,
community. Before crypto art,
yeah,
everyone is
yeah,
like, oh, the motion community. Like I was like, the motion community is one of the most friendly communities in the world. Like for real, like you could just literally hit up someone as big as Beeple and he responds, or someone as big as Gmong and they
yeah,
respond. And that's how the motion community has been until crypto art came in, and you start seeing like the toxic part, you start seeing the FOMO, the anxiety, like the mental health. You start to
yeah,
see like people harassing each other, canceling each other for like motion designers canceling other motion designers for doing crypto art because of the environmental cost, and not realizing that
yeah,
Bitcoin and the
yeah,
blockchain is set up to endanger the environment. And until that, the way the blockchain is set up, it doesn't really matter if we do crypto art or not. It's still going to have that same
yeah,
environmental impact. And you still start seeing people attacking
yeah,
each other. And I just feel like it brings out the most toxic parts of everything. Like for me now, I've been having serious FOMO and imposter syndrome. I'm like, whoa, my friend just got into crypto and
mm,
I can't even afford the gas fees. And everyone is making like thousands of dollars, and I'm just trying to raise $500, sorry, $600 to get a camera. So like the irony,
yeah,
and then that's where like the comparison thing comes in, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to, like I had to really block my Twitter totally. Like I can only tweet,
mm,
and I can only like, except I turn off the plugin, I can't really read other tweets. Or except I go to your profile and check out what this person is tweeting, I can't really see any of the content.
yeah.
Cause like,
But I mean, that's good. That's good that you set those
yeah,
boundaries.
cause it's not good for the mental, like my mental health. I want to be able to
Yeah,
think and just think freely and just create and not really worry about what another person is doing, or have like this thing where I'm comparing myself to everyone. And it's not like they don't deserve all the things they're getting, but you start to wonder, okay, where is mine? I also need this. I also deserve this. And then you're not focusing on how can I be
yeah.
better? How can I create? How can I get to that level? And I think it just brings up all the toxic parts of being a creator or being a motion designer.
Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, I think there's some truth to that, man. And it brings out the toxic side, because you know what? We're all uh, we're just all just fallible
Yeah,
humans, and uh, at its core, I mean, our bent, our desire is naturally to, do what benefits us the most,
Yes.
right? And seek after our own selfish desires. And it's hard to overcome that. And there've been, I mean, it does have a toxic side to it, but I don't want to discount
The positive side.
the
Yeah.
good things that have happened with it. I mean, the positive, yeah, because I mean, people, I mean, there's amazing people out there just saying, "Hey, listen, I've got 3 invites to foundation. I want to help some people
And there are
out."
people
Like,
like David Ariel
I've seen
that's
a lot of posts
reinvesting
like
it,
that.
like using the money you got from crypto ads, buying other people's art.
Reinvesting, yeah,
And
absolutely,
that is just amazing.
absolutely.
And I think it's a double-edged sword. There's like the really, really
Hmm.
toxic parts of it, and there's like the really, really positive sides to it. And I think it depends on how people individually. It depends on it's. I don't think the tool is the problem. I think the people are the problem, and it depends on who is
Yeah,
using that tool. There are some people that are just totally annoying in this space.
yeah, man. But you know what? I honestly wonder if money wasn't involved, would it be as big as it is?
Nah, definitely not.
If it was just about the art, would it be as big as it is? Um, and I'll be honest, I don't think I would be as interested in it, um, but I would still want to be a part of it for
I
sure.
think it wouldn't be as
Uh,
like I said. I think if it was just about the art, the positive side would shine more because everyone, the people who are there, are the people who are there for the long term. People who are there, like I can confidently say that a lot of crypto artists are not there so they can create crypto arts for the long run. They're just there for okay.
yeah,
Let me just post this art and see if I make the money and not really. I'm personally going into crypto
yeah,
art just for that, just for let me just post it and see if it happens, and let me just mint it if I see if it
yeah.
happens, and
This is my dog, by the way. This is Toby.
yeah, nice.
um, but yeah, man, well, I just want to clarify what I said just a minute ago about, if it wasn't about the money, I don't know if I would be as interested in it. That's what I mean by that is, money is a motivating factor because this is something that I know a few artists have actually quit and gone full NFT work. They quit their
Hmm.
client work, and now they're doing NFT work. That would be amazing. Um, I mean, if we're being honest, if it weren't for money, none of us would be going to work on Monday through Friday anyway. Like, we got to make
Yep.
money. This is just another avenue to make that. So what I meant was, I wouldn't, I wouldn't, there wouldn't be as much of a drive because there's not as
I think the hype
such
factor,
of a long-term benefit to it.
the hype factor, crypto ads is a lot of hype. That hype would not really exist
Yeah,
because there is
yeah,
because it's all hype right now. And if I think if it was just about art, people who really create just for the love of it would reign. People who do it for the money would disappear, and that's what I think. And I think there are a lot of people who do it just to create and not just because of the money. And I think those people should shine, and those people should
yeah.
make the most crazy amount of money from crypto art.
Well, who you just described was Beeple,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he has been making stuff for the last decade, and he's been making it every day, and he's been doing it because he likes he enjoys the medium. He enjoys the craft, and he wants to hone his
Hmm.
craft, and he give free projects away, and he has a bunch of stuff that he give away for free and to help the community and whatnot. And so, I think just having that, if I'll put it this way, if you get into crypto, and I'm just telling this to myself, if you get into crypto purely because you want to make money, then you shouldn't be getting into
Exactly.
crypto art.
Oh, maybe I
Yeah,
shouldn't be getting into
it
crypto
needs to
art.
be about the artwork. It needs to be about the community.
Maybe I shouldn't get to crypto
What's that?
because I'm getting it just so I can. I'm doing it just so I can get the money.
Yeah, well, and that in turn, I think that can affect uh, your creative output, because you might work on a piece that you wouldn't really necessarily do, but you're doing it because you think it might actually
Yeah,
sell.
I
Does that make
did
sense?
this piece of crypto art. I didn't really do it because I didn't really do it because of its crypto art. It's not. It doesn't really look like what a lot of people are posting, but it's something truly personal to me, and it's kind of like a story I wanted to tell. And I think more crypto artists should do that. Instead of doing art that is designed for crypto art, do
Yeah,
art that is truly do what art is meant to be, like something that is personal and emotional and is creative and tells a story, not just random shit
yeah,
that people do and they make it loop and that's the end of it. So
yeah,
before we go, I
yeah,
wanted
man.
to
Yeah.
ask right now, like if I was explaining to you my lifestyle and how I don't sleep well, I'm always awake.
Hmm.
I'm always awake till like 6 a.m. every night, surprisingly, for the last 3 weeks. And I'm trying to transition
Hmm.
into like being a morning person. And I feel like you've done it. So, like, what would be your recommendations for me? Because I really need that change in my life. I need to stop living in the American time zone and I need to come back to Nigeria because I definitely am living in the American time zone.
Yeah. I mean, since you asked, I mean, it's difficult because I'm not in your shoes, so I can't say exactly what I would do if I were in your shoes. But
You were in my
in
shoes
regards to the
once.
morning,
Yeah, so like
okay.
when you were in
Well,
my shoes, what did you
in
do?
the morning specifically, yeah. I would say d- don't don't look at a screen after 9 o'clock.
Damn. You 9 o'clock.
I start shutting down about we start winding down about 9 o'clock around here, and we try to be in bed about 9:30. Sometimes it's 10, but
9 o'clock is
9:30
my
at
most
least.
active time.
Um, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I I mean everybody's different, but for me, I've tested it, and I know that I only need 6 hours of sleep to.
Mm,
I say only. I need at least, at minimum, 6 hours of sleep, six and a half, to be able to feel sustained during the day, and that is enough sleep for me. Some people need the full 8. I think any less than 6, people are just kind of lying to themselves because I don't think you can really function as a human being with less than 6 hours of sleep
true.
on a regular basis. Um, but I'll say this: if you wind down at 9:30, you go to bed. My alarm is set for 4:15 a.m. A few things that'll help set you up for success. Have something to do immediately when you wake up. So my first thing is make coffee, right? So if you get up and you're just thinking about, oh, I'm getting up, and you don't have a motivation to get up for, because I get up, I make coffee, and I come in here to the computer and I sit down and I check email, and then I start kind of planning out like what do I want my next piece to be, kind of fiddling around with different techniques, might look up some tutorials or check out
Yep.
some, whatever the case may be. But that's 2 hours blocked out in the morning before my wife, by the time I get up and before my wife gets up, for me to just have that time. So I would say set yourself up for success by having something to do immediately in the morning when you wake up. And when the alarm goes off, that is your very first battle of the day. If you win that battle, the rest of the day is going to be a lot easier. If you turn the alarm off and you go back to sleep, and you turn it up again and you go back to sleep, and you turn it back again, you say just another 5 minutes or just another 10 minutes, you're constantly, subconsciously, you're giving in and you're losing those battles. So by the time you actually get up, you already feel defeated because you're like, man, I tried to get up at 4:15, I couldn't even do that, or I tried to get up. Just start with like 6 o'clock
Mm.
or maybe 6:30 or 7. Ease your way into it. I think I started getting up at like 6:30, and then I just worked my way backwards to give myself a
Y-
2-hour window
I've
in
definitely
the
been a
morning before
morning
my wife
person
goes to work.
before. Like I've been that. I think it's probably a phase for me because there was a time last year or there was time the year before last year where I was a serious morning person and I would wake up around
Hmm.
5 and I'll start my work from there. I'll start because I realized that
That's awesome.
my brain is the best. Like my brain works
Yes.
best that the first 2 hours of just waking up. Like the
Yeah.
first 10 minutes of waking up can be really slow, but after that, the first 2 hours of just waking up, I don't feel tired. I don't feel exhausted. And I'm working
Mhm.
really, like like that's where ideas flow the most. So when I work, I try to like when I work when I want to do serious, I try to just sleep for like an hour or two and just then start work from there. But then I used to be a morning person, but I don't know
Yeah.
how I phased out into being this full blown koala bear that lives in the American time zone.
Well, it happen. It's a gradual thing, right? So it all depends on if you want to be a morning person. It's really just making the decision. to switch your habits at night to be in the morning. Because honestly, man, if you're sitting there jamming at night, because I mean, I'd mostly up till 2, 3 in the morning.
Yep.
The problem is, at a certain point, I just realized for me that just wasn't working, man. I was tired all the time.
Yep.
I didn't have any energy to even like try to like want to work out or even just sit on the computer the next day. You know, you burn out really quick because you're just sitting there staring at a screen. You're tired and your eyes are straining, and so if you
And
just
probably
give your
didn't
brain a
exercise.
break, yeah. And I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting there struggling with a technical issue, trying to figure something out, and I'm like, I'll just do it in the morning. I just got to stop. I'll do it in the morning, and wake up early in the morning, and immediately it's like boom, there it is, you know, because I just couldn't think right. My mind was just, you know, all over the place. But some people, you know, some people will work better at night and they want to burn the midnight oil. And so, I mean, um, you know, not passing judgment on them, but that works better for them. I mean, it's just your body's just meant to naturally go, you know, shut down when the sun goes down
Yep.
and you know, reboot and then get back, you know, start again whenever the sun starts coming up. So I just wanted to try to follow that cycle for my, you know, sanity, and
Yeah.
it seemed to work. So yeah, it's been really good. So
I totally get that. And I think I'm going to try. I think doing that for me requires a little bit of restructuring. Most of my conversations, like right now, I find I feel bad about saying this, but 80% of the people I
yeah,
talk
it's
to,
pretty late for you.
sorry, 80% of the people I talk to are not in Nigeria, and
Yeah.
they're all like in a very different time zone. So I kind of like
Hmm.
to really talk to them in a really comfortable time is like late at night, like 7,
Yeah.
like probably 8 p.m. for you
So
guys.
right now it's 9 o'clock there right now, right?
Yep, 9 p.m.
So after we hop off here, just start winding down for bed
Yeah, I should do that. But then I have a project.
and set your alarm for 7 o'clock. You know, 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever you want. Just, you know, get 8 hours of sleep, and you might be able to function on less. That would just take some testing, but just do it. Test it out for a couple
I
of
think
days and
I also have a
see
problem
how that works. You know?
falling to like sleeping, like falling asleep early.
Yeah,
So like
yeah, that's a big factor. Well, because your body's used to staying up late.
yeah, so like when I
Yeah,
try to fall asleep at this time, I have a harder time. I think what helps a little bit, but doesn't help all the time. Like if my like even 1 a.m. I find it hard to fall asleep, which is crazy. 1 a.m. everyone should be able to fall asleep. The one thing that helps is Spotify
yeah,
playlist. When I try to sleep,
yeah. That's really good.
I just swear.
Hey, you there?
Yeah, I am. Like my internet went
All
off,
right, all right.
so like I'm going to see if.
No, it's all good. We're back.
Oh yeah, if we're back. I think I was explaining my crazy
I
lifestyle.
gotta, yeah, I gotta wrap up here, man. Hate to cut it off, but I gotta.
Oh yeah, thank you very much for coming to like my second pop-up stream. This is like the
Yeah,
second time ever I'm doing a pop-up stream.
you bet.
Yeah, it really means a lot that I'm able to talk and learn from you and learn a lot from you. I'm hoping that we can have conversations, maybe not live conversations later.
Yeah,
And
yeah, for
yeah, and
sure,
next month
for
I'm
sure.
freelancing in case you want to, in case you need extra hand. I'm good with all software. Yeah. Okay, so
All right, my man. Absolutely, absolutely.
all right. Thank you very much, guys, for coming to this stream. I really appreciate it. My next live stream is on Thursday with the legendary Caitlin Kaju. I've been practicing saying her surname, her last name. I had a conversation with her about how to say her last name, and apparently it's a French name, and it's like Ju, Caitlin,
Tricky.
Caitlin Kaju.
Je,
Yeah.
caju.
Okay, so I'm going to see you guys in my next stream on Thursday. Hopefully, I'll like put more effort into promoting my streams. I haven't quite figured out how to promote the streams better, so I'll figure that out, and I'll see you guys. Thank you very much, Byron, for coming. Take care, guys,
You bet.
and we should be